All right, Facebook peoples. So just a few hours ago, I posted some things online. I was talking about how it's time for us to start thinking about getting out of this quarantine situation that we're in willingly and respectively or respectfully to the authorities that are over the nation and in respect to those of us that are around us, so we're not getting more people messed up and sick, right? It's amazing that we're talking about these things this day and age, but here we are nonetheless. And I saw a lot of responses, a lot of really good responses. It's anytime that we're leading the front, anytime we're up front, we're bound to get negatives. There's always going to be negative people that have nothing but negative things to say. And so that's a given. And we don't want to give too much energy or power to those things, but we do want to acknowledge those people and those things because they are people just like you and I. And so the problem that we have, and this is one of those things where it's so difficult. Number one, it's I'm not selling anything. I'm not saying subscribe to this and it's going to save your life. No. What I'm talking about right now, it's specific to the community that I serve in the Barstow area. I've been designated to this area. I've been sent to this area, and this is the area that I serve. I serve willingly, not unwillingly, although I would much rather be in the beach. But at the same time, I'm grateful that the Lord has sent me versus disregarded me. And so we are Evangels MC. Okay, now that's the name that we put for the business aspect of it because we are a nonprofit organization. Now we are a nonprofit organization and we are a mobile church, meaning that we are individuals that are churches that you're looking at. I'm a church. I am the church, right? And so when you go to a church, you'll see that. And so it's like, why is it so confusing, right? Because I see people talk about, well, some of y'all this and some of y'all that. And some of you Christian folks act this way and some of you Christian folks act another way. Well, it's no different than anything and anything, right? Some black folks act a certain way. Some Mexican folks act a certain way. Some white folks act a certain way. And then if you look at the other side, those same folks that I just mentioned act a whole totally different way. So it doesn't matter if you're Christian, black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, all those things, right? All those things, none of that matters. None of that matters. It doesn't matter. Now, is there a cultural difference? Absolutely. But really, we're all really similar. We all really have a lot of things that are similar. Now, granted, different regions have different things that they practice that are kind of out there, and so that's the best way to say it, I guess. But that's taking the focus off of what I'm trying to talk about. And what I'm talking about right now is that once we start to think about jumping off this ship and getting into motion, because we're still going to get motion. For those of you that have ever been on a cruise and you get off of a cruise, it feels like you're still on it. And so it's time for us to start thinking about getting off the ship because we're still going to be on it even though we're off. We're still going to feel the waves. And so now some people will say, well, we don't make that decision. Well, no, yes, we do. We as a group, as a community, absolutely make that decision. Now, just like we were responsible, and I see a lot of responsible people out there, wearing their masks and doing their best to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and protecting others. I mean, that should be something that we should be doing anyways. No matter what, no matter this or that or the other. We should have been doing that no matter what. But it takes things like this for us to act, and so be it. But again, the point, if we're looking at the laser point, like, have you seen those laser beams when they point, the pointers, the laser pointers? Well, the pointer is still that's not it. The point is that we need to start thinking like this together, because just like we together as a community came together as communities, as a country, and we self-quarantined, now we have to self-examine what's best for the communities that we're in. I'm not in LA County. I'm not in LA. I'm not in San Francisco. I'm not in Italy. I'm not in Japan. I'm not in China. I'm not in any of those places. I'm in Barstow. Now, that cough, because I get excited and I start talking, and for whatever reason, it starts to itch my throat when I feel like I'm yelling. I don't mean to. It's just, I don't know. It's just something that I've always done. I guess people say, "Why are you yelling?" Well, I ain't yelling. I guess it's just the way I talk. And so I've tried to figure it out, but it always is the same way. So anyways, the point is, it's not to cause rebellion. It's not to create a rebellion against your government. That's retarded. You won't win. We won't win. If you stand up right now, 25 of you stand up right now and bear arms, and you go to the police department and act a fool, you're gonna get shut down, because the government will send more to take care of you. And so that's not what this is about. It's not about starting a war like that. And we are too busy focusing on that, on the flesh, that we don't understand what's being said. And so then we judge what I'm saying, but yet you're quick to speak and very, very slow to listen. And it should be odd. I'm sorry. You're quick to speak and I'm sorry. You're quick to listen and not slow enough to speak. You're opposite. When you should be quick to listen and slow to speak. What do I mean by that? Someone try to instigate a little fight and say, well, I'm guessing that I'm shutting women up and the religion shuts. I'm not preaching no religion. I'm not telling you that you need to be a Pentecostal, a Muslim, such and such, a Baptist, whatever, Jehovah Witness. I'm not talking about any of that. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. When I say walk in faith, I've put the description out there of what the definition of faith means. There's scriptural backing behind it. There is historical evidence of what faith is. Scientific evidence. For those of you that need science. It's okay. Whatever you need to grab onto to make it make sense. Those are the difference in tongues. Speaking the same language, because we get confused over the smallest things. And so, again, as a community, so we thinketh as we doeth. The more of us that start to believe, we create energy. We create movement. And if we begin to believe, just like we believed that quarantining and self-quarantining was going to help and save so many, because we had to believe that. Yet people are at home getting sick. Maybe not in our community, but in so many others. And I'm not worried about that. That is not our problem. It's not to say that it's not our problem. I'm not 200 miles away in San Diego. I don't have anything to do with San Diego right now. That's my hometown. I have family down there. They got to figure themselves out. And this is coming from the federal level, as far as it comes from the president. Someone will say, oh my gosh, you're talking about the president and Trump this and Trump that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about what's being said. Well, Trump can't say this and Trump can say that. Trump has to read based off of what they're telling him that he can say. Now, of course, he has some say, obviously. And we're starting to see post after post of other presidents talking about the same thing. Yet the president that we have right now has been saying it since day one. Politicians have had their heads so far up their ass. They've been so focused on trying to get rid of a president that we spent all this stupid energy on that we're not prepared. When we should have been prepared for this long time ago. Not the only president that talked about it. And yet we get upset now because he's had to spend so much time and energy trying to fight off the wolves that we could have been on the forefront of this a long time ago. And even then we're still on the forefront. Even then we're still handling this better than most places. In comparison, you know, I saw a post out there as far as how many tests we've done and blah, 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 blah. Yet without the test, we still have a better survival rate. And so it is time that we need to start thinking about how we're going to baby step our way back into normality. Some sort of normality. We got to get back to work. We can't just keep chilling in our house and have our arms crossed. It causes atrophy. Any medical doctor will tell you that if a patient stays in a bed too long, it creates other problems. It creates cysts, it creates blood clots, it creates all kinds of other issues. And so if the wheel isn't moving, we're not turning, we're not at the forefront, we're not putting soldiers at risk, we don't win a war. Soldiers don't go out there, you know, on the front lines thinking they ain't going to get shot down. They train every day knowing that they might. And that's all I'm talking about. You don't have to be the one to step up. That's fine. No problem. We got you covered. Don't get in the way either. Let us figure it out. Let us help you and let us help others. Just like we talk about stay at home. You better effing stay at home. You better effing do this. We better. Well then, if I flip that around and say, well, we better start looking at doing this, we better start looking at doing that. It's the same expression, but on a positive note. Now, you may be thinking you're positive, but it's an absolute negative. Staying at home doesn't save you. We have very, very capable and intelligent people that are leaders of our community. I have met several of them, and I'm sure if I'm thinking about it, a lot of you are thinking about it. The difference is, because I'm not a politician, because I don't have a place where people can say, oh, well, we're not going to go there or that and this and the other as far as politics are concerned, because there's politics in religion too. If I was an officer, as far as a police officer, people would be asking for my head, for my resignation, for speaking the way that I speak. If I was a politician, it'd probably be the same thing. If I was anything else, people would be trying to get me. People are trying to get me now. And I don't hold any of those positions. But it's great. And I thank God every day that I'm able to be in the position that I'm in. I'm in the perfect position right now to speak out on those things that a lot of you are thinking about. You're thinking about it, but you're just too afraid to speak. Now, again, that's okay. I understand. It's tough putting yourself out there, getting eggs thrown at you, so to speak, getting spit on, getting lashed out on, having people call you a moron, having people call you I can't believe how stupid people are. I can't believe blah, 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 blah. All these things that people throw out. That's fine. You don't need to be in that position. If you don't know how to manage all that, don't jump in. Don't jump in this boat. As a matter of fact, I'm not in a boat. I'm walking on water, baby. Take that with a grain of salt, however you want. I jumped out of that boat long time ago. Making waves. I'm the one that's making waves. Lord's like, you better stop it. We need to be thinking about that. Not putting, unnecessary risk. Someone put something about the pandemic and back in 1917 or 18 and the this and that and this and the other. That's history. Let's use our history. I'm not talking about going out there and dancing in the street. It's dumb. Parading like we've accomplished something. That's dumb. We haven't accomplished anything. Not yet, anyways. Now, as a nation, we are. We're keeping this thing nipped in the butt as a nation. And so, the problem with the news, especially the news that's out there right now, is that we watch it and we think it's supposed to affect us in this community. And like anything else, I have the same issues that you have. I have children. I worry about what might or might not happen. Not like that, though. It comes to me just like it comes to everybody else. I just deal with it differently. And that's all I'm talking about. And we just have to have these discussions. It's time. You watch everything else. You watch how, LA's telling you what to do and, this and that and the other. But we're not in LA. Again, we're not in San Diego. We're not in San Francisco. We're our own community. And we need to get together. We have people. We have very capable people. Very smart, strong leaders. And what needs to happen, in church, they'll tell you, pray for the pastor. That's what they tell you. Pray for the pastor in church. Because as a pastor, there's a lot of work that needs to get done. And there's a lot of weight in that position. And so we, all of us together, if we delegate some authority and we create a team of like-minded individuals and get together, not radically. I think I said this earlier today. Not radically. Radical cells are cancerous. I'm not talking about creating cancer. We already have enough issues as there is. What I'm talking about is getting the people that we have in position that are higher positions for our community, thinking and supporting them in getting the ball moving. They need our help. If 20,000 people in our community, we have 20,000 some people in our community. If 15,000 of those people are complaining and screaming and fearful, we don't allow our leaders to use the best part that they have to make better decisions. And we don't help them make the better decisions. And they need our help. Anytime that we have anybody in any type of office, we surround the president. I mean, if we look at if we just look at, forget about who it is. If we just look at the processes that we have, the president has a cabinet, and he speaks to that cabinet, counselors, people that he talks to, people that are way smarter than him. For those of you that keep clowning. And he gets different information from different people. And then a decision is made. That's what I'm talking about. I think we're 2-3 weeks behind schedule. Honestly, we're really like a month behind. We're more like 2 months behind schedule. But it was too soon. Because as soon as I started saying things, people were tripping out. I mean, I'm getting crazy funkiness from people right now. But that's okay. It's all part of this process. And we will lead by example. We are at the forefront. Someone said, well, why don't you go? We're leading by example. We're at the forefront of this thing. We're exposing ourselves each and every single day. Not for a paycheck. We're exposing ourselves because we have to go out there and figure this out. And so that's all I'm saying. And that's worth sharing. That's worth sharing to our leaders. Those people that are in positions right now. I don't need to say any names. They know who they are. And you know who they are too. We're here to support you. Absolutely in prayer. Absolutely in spirit. One nation under God. So let's start looking at that option. Our local businesses need help. And it's not in the help of here's some money. No. We need to think about this. We have people that are great leaders and that are capable, more than capable at the hospital level, that can use the statistics that they have right now based off the numbers that we have right now. They have more access to those things than any of us. Our Barstow Police Department is doing an excellent job with maintaining the peace and keeping everything, under some sort of control. Even though you got a lot of knuckleheads out there doing just stupid stuff. We got a lot of intelligence, in our leadership. Barstow Police Department, our fire department, our hospital, our county officials or city officials. And that's how we support them. By not bringing them down. I can nitpick anything. I've been to everywhere in Barstow. It's not that hard to do, I can tell you how weak one area is than the other in comparison to San Diego. But that's not what we're doing here. We're not chopping people down. Gotta help people. Push them up. Keep going. I'm at 24 minutes. I'm going to be sharing this, so I'm going to cut it off because the 24 minutes is a lot of time for some of y'all. I know some of y'all ADD, what is that? ADD or defend. It's like you guys I can't even keep 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your attention. But it's okay. Speak from the heart. And the Lord is with us. He has sent out people to watch over us. Simple as that. So, anyways, love our community. We're Barstow strong. We got to keep it going. We got to figure this thing out, and we got to get ahead of it. We got to get ahead of it. We got to get ahead of it. We got to know that the curve is over there, and it's like, okay, should I be going at it at 80 miles an hour or should I be going 70 miles an hour? For those of us that ride, we know that once we hit a curve a certain way, we know we got to lean. You know how much we got to lean. So the next time we hit it, we're riding handlebar to handlebar. Maybe I take it 70 and the other guy's taking it at 75, so we can save being at handlebar to handlebar. That's like another language for another set of peoples. And so, I'm going to cut it off right here because I'm going to start just yapping and keep going. But the whole point is that we're here. I know people need emotional support and all these other things. We're here to help. We're Evangels MC. You can take a look at our Facebook page and take a look at our YouTube page. All we do is post information, and we'll be doing classes and those things later on. We're just observing and trying to make the right decisions, because the right decision can be the wrong decision, and the wrong decision can be the right decision. So we don't know until we try it, right? It's like anything else. I tell my kids, this is the last thing, I'm gonna shut up. I tell my kids, like, how do you know you don't like that if you haven't tried it? We got to try it. We got to try it. We got to get out there and try it. Is it going to kill you? Shoot. There's a lot of other reasons why you can die out there. So we got to figure this out intelligently, with wisdom, and putting all of our heads together and getting through this thing. So God bless everybody. I appreciate the time. And again, you can visit us on our Facebook page. We're Evangels MC. It's evangelsmc.org. You can visit our website, and I appreciate the comments. Absolutely. I respond to every single one of them as best as I can. I take a look at everything, and you want to have some conversation, even if you're talking crazy, let's do it. I'm all about it. Y'all have a great day. God bless.